You know, coming into the season, Charter Oak was picked to win the Hacienda League by Aram Talesian, while Michelle Gardner picked Damien to come in fourth place. Charter Oak has an experienced trio in the backfield. Cam Brown, the quarterback, leads them, while Zion Echols, a Cal commit, is the running back that they'll give the ball to most of the time. As far as wide receivers go, for Charter Oak, Brian Casteel is going to be one of the main weapons, as well as Damian Washington. 5 players that you could list for a high-powered offense for Charter Oak. While on the other hand, for Damien, their quarterback that's going to lead them tonight, Warren Bryan, he's going to be handing off either to Dylan Thigpen, who's ran for over 200 yards the last 2 seasons, or Cameron Brown, the wide receiver. Either way, neither one of these teams wants to lose this close encounter. It's an experienced matchup between these 2 coaches, Lou Farrar as well as Mark Paredes. We'll bring you the highlights and interviews. Courtney, back to you.
Thanks, Tom. It's definitely going to be a great game under these Friday night lights, but especially when the student sections start to fill up the crowd. We're going to have the Damien pit on one side and the Oak squad on the other. We've got highlights and interviews coming your way.
Number 2, 2 teams from 2 different divisions, both with the same goal: have a successful preseason. Charter Oak 1-1, Damien 1-0. Charter Oak starts it off. Zion Echols gets the scoring started from 5 yards out on their first drive, which they made look easy, and jumped out to a 7-0 lead. But Damien's going to come right back with Dylan Thigpen. He took this in from 30 yards out, but they missed the PAT and trailed 7-6. After the kickoff, Cam Brown is going to get intercepted by Damien's Cameron Record. He takes it 25 yards into the end zone, and the Spartans are up 13-7. Cam Brown would have a big game tonight on the ground and through the air. He completes this long pass to Brian Casteel, who stumbles at the 10-yard line, but it's going to set up this 10-yard pass. Cam Brown to Darian Nash. Chargers take a 14-13 lead. But back comes Damien. Dylan Thigpen, once again, right up the middle. From 15 yards out, 20-14 Sparty, as there's no defenses to be found out there, folks. Charter Oak's Cam Brown with the bubble screen to Zion Echols. He weaves his way 25 yards into the end zone, and somewhere Lane Kiffin is smiling. 21-20, CO. But Sparty will answer. Quarterback Warren Bryan feathers this into Chris Gregg, who manages to get his foot in bounds and hold on to the ball. A 20-yard play, 27-24, halftime lead for Damien. Third quarter action, Cam Brown is going to go back to pass, and he's going to hit Brian Casteel. He makes a great catch, and the fired-up Chargers go back up 31-27, and they would not look back, because a minute later, this wide receiver screen to Casteel outruns everybody, and that's why you put it in the hands of the playmakers. Coach Farrar must have really lit a fire in the locker room. 38-27 Chargers. Then guess what? The D shows up. Brian gets sacked. Myers forces the fumble. Kyle Morales recovers, and then it's that guy. Once again, Zion Echols doing what Cal wants him to do next year, make a miss.
The final score of tonight's game was 53-27. The Charter Oak Chargers with the win. We talked to Victoria's head coach, Lou Farrar.
Coach, congratulations on the win tonight. They sure came out in the second half. Talk about that effort.
Well, second half, we had a really close family discussion at halftime, and I don't generally like to do that too often, but I had to make sure we got the boys' attention and that they focused up on their assignment. You know, you have a rule, you have an alignment, you have an assignment. I learned that from an old coach, and Coach Salter, actually. And as long as we line up, we got a chance. You know, we made a lot of sophomore mistakes out there. That's okay. If you play with sophomores, like UCLA is playing with a freshman quarterback, sophomores and freshmen make mistakes, and you got to live with those things and work around them.
Well, you got a veteran quarterback and a veteran running back, and that always helps you.
Yeah, I told Zion, I said, you're the best man on the field. We know that, and you know that. So go out and prove it. And that's what he had to do. You know, he knows if we just give him a chance, he is the best football player in the area. And what he can say about our quarterback. I mean, besides being a 4.0 kid and somebody your daughter should date, he's a great kid. He can throw the hell out of a football. And we've got some kids who can catch it. We just got to give them time.
Congratulations.
Definitely not the outcome that Damien was expecting tonight. We talked to head coach Matt Paredes.
Second half for you tonight. You guys did great in the first half. What happened in the second half?
Second half, they basically they stopped us. We had a couple of injuries. We had a couple of drop passes that killed our momentum. And then on defense, we didn't tackle very well. And if you don't tackle, you're not going to win. And the second half was all them. They did a great job.
Talk about Thigpen's injury. Is it serious?
No, he's just got a banged-up shoulder. He's going to get checked out later on. We'll see what happens.
Leading his team tonight with 4 big touchdowns. We talked to Zion. Zion, congratulations. You all just beat Damien. What's going through your mind right now?
Man, I'm just happy. I'm really happy. Like, from the week we had last week, we really had to get this win. It meant a lot to us, so just getting this win under our belt means a lot.
Now, definitely a tough loss last week to La Mirada. What did you all do to come out and make sure that another loss did not happen tonight?
Well, practice this week, we knew in our head we had to get this win, so we had to do whatever we did to improve the things we messed up on last week. So that was the big thing in practice this week.
You scored the first touchdown of the game. How did that set the momentum for your team?
It set the momentum a lot. The sideline was pumped after. Everybody was pumped. The defense was pumped. But then after halftime, we made our adjustments, and BJ came out and scored the 2 touchdowns. That made the biggest impact of the game because then we started flowing. So I think that was the biggest turning point of the game.
Next week, you have Bell Gardens. What are you guys going to do to make sure you keep this winning streak going?
We just got to focus. Well, obviously, we didn't have a perfect game, so we got to fix what we messed up on and then just keep going.
Best of luck to you this season.
Thank you.
With back-to-back touchdowns in the third quarter, we were able to speak with Brian Casteel. Brian, congratulations. You guys just beat Damien big. What is going through your mind right now?
Well, honestly, we just played our game in the second half. I'm happy. I'm just glad that we got this loss over with last week. Came out, played our game. Just so proud of my team, the way they played in the second half. Came through. Yeah.
Now, the momentum changer would definitely be your back-to-back touchdowns that happened all within a minute and a half. How did that happen, and what went through your mind when you scored both of those?
I just knew that we went up big. After I scored the second one, I was just like, my mind. I'm so happy. Came through for my team. I know they're proud of me, so as long as they play their game, I'm gonna just be proud of them. Give thanks back to them. As long as they give thanks to me, so.
Definitely a big win for your team tonight and your program. How are you going to keep this winning streak alive?
Just practice. Practice was hard work this week. All mental, physically. Practice was hard work. We just knew we had to come back and win this game. And practice has to be the same as this week throughout the rest of the season.
Leading the Chargers offensively tonight was senior quarterback Camden Brown. We were able to speak with him after the game. Courtney Pons here with Camden Brown, the quarterback for Charter Oak. Camden, how did you lead your team to victory tonight? Because you guys came out and you pretty much dominated the whole game.
Well, to be honest, it wasn't even me. It was my O-line. They just held their blocks so well versus a great D-line, and they helped open up holes for my running back and myself, and my skill guys showed up so big tonight and just made exceptional catches. And it's just easy. It's so awesome watching me hand the ball off and then watching a wide open hole right into the end zone. So it's just awesome being the quarterback and the captain of this team.
Yeah, you get the front row seat. You see everything that's happening. And we got to talk about the game last week when you all lost to La Mirada. What changed coming into tonight's game?
Well, we knew this week we definitely needed to get a win because these preseason games, you learn so much from them. And we play some pretty tough teams in the preseason that help us in league. So we knew that we needed to bounce back from that loss and not turn the ball over. I mean, we still did, so we needed to work on things. But for the most part, we improved on a lot. And that game just made us better. And you learn a lot more from when you lose. So it was a helpful game, and it definitely got us. This game definitely got us up.
Looking forward to next week's game, another preseason game. You will be playing Bell Gardens. What can we expect from you personally?
Well, I'm going to try to throw a lot of touchdowns. I mean, it's our game before Glendora, so we just got to execute our play calls and get ready for them also. And I mean, Bell Gardens is a good opponent. We just need to do what we did this week and execute our play calls.
Best of luck to you this season.
All right, thank you so much.
With 2 huge sacks for the Chargers, we were able to speak with Dylan Ontiveros after the game. Courtney Pons here with Dylan Ontiveros. Congratulations, you just beat Damien. What's going through your mind right now, especially coming back from such a tough loss last week?
It was just great. I mean, our team played the best. Our defense hung us out there, and we stuck it out for them. And offense kept us in the game.
Let's talk about your 2 big sacks that you had. Such a big momentum changer for your team. How did that all happen for you?
I mean, I got to thank my D-line. It's just they're putting in work for us, and they're taking it 2 for 1. It's just giving me the opportunity.
Now, you were down at half. What was said in the locker room to come out and change? Because everything changed. The whole dynamic changed out here. Not just on the field, but even in the crowd.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, well, I mean, our coaches they just know how to play ball and, well, just execute and keep going.
The final score of tonight's game was 53-27. Charter Oak with the win. Charter Oak's record does improve to 2-1, and they will be playing Bell Gardens next week. Meanwhile, not the outcome that Damien was expecting. Their record now goes to 1-1, and they will be facing Claremont next week. From Charter Oak High School, I'm Courtney Pons for the Tribune Sports.